Hello, magical mamas. So, my name is Dania, and I'm an intuitive energy healer. I'm a mom to three wildlings, and they are currently nearly three, just turned six, and an 8-year old. So, my journey of magical mothering has been such a reclamation of self. Now, what that happens is when we get involved into this motherhood state, we get thrown into this motherhood state. It can be this journey where we need to really recognize our own needs and our own desires, or we begin to drown. So for me, it was all about the drowning. It was all about the feeling overwhelmed, feeling all of that depression sinking in, and needing to really reclaim myself and my inner essence, go back to my roots to be able to find who I am and why am I here, that will really pull me out of that and allow me to be the guide that my children needed me to be. So that's what I mean when I say this magical mothering journey has been such a reclamation of self. Now, to be able to meet my own needs and desires, I had to actually meet and hold myself as that intuitive, sensitive child that I was when I was young. That intuitive, sensitive child that actually drove my own mama a bit crazy to the point where, she was overwhelmed and she was feeling like I needed so much from her because, as somebody who was feeling all of the energy around, I was really sensitive. I was a really clingy child. I was really anxious. I felt everything so deeply. I took everything so personally. Any external problems of things that my mum was moving through, her own heartbreaks and divorces and issues around relationships, her own grief when her father passed, all of these different things, I felt the emotion and I internalized that. And um, it was something that I was really taking on deeply. So I had to do a lot of healing down my own generational lineages, especially related to my strong woman lines who have challenges of not enoughness. That was a huge thing that keeps coming up for me. And the one thing that I've learned through this journey is that when we have these big milestones that we need to overcome for our journey, we need to embrace and accept and um, to be able to keep going without it drowning us, without it overwhelming us, is it all comes back to acceptance. And accepting this not enoughness is this spiral that each time we come back around and it comes up in another form or another reason, we actually get the invitation to meet it again. Excuse me, and we meet it again and it becomes smaller and we're able to process things a lot faster. We're able to in tune with it a lot easier and embrace it a lot faster and easier as well. That's the beautiful thing about the journey. I have unleashed so much forgiveness, compassion, and respect for where I've come from, my lineage, my parentals, as well as for myself as well. And that's what I'm here to share. That's what I'm here to bring through to other mothers who are parenting, raising these intuitive, sensitive children of now. The kids of today are switched on and they are wild and they are ready to embrace this world with love. They have their hearts wide open. And being one of these children and raising three of these children myself, I want to share the tools that I've picked up with this. So that's what this podcast is really going to be about here. Um, Magical mothering. It's going to have a bit of I'm an unschooling mum. We put a lot of trust in our children to be the best versions of themselves. And to get to that point, we need to actually put the trust in ourselves that we can do that too. Um, yeah. So we're going to talk a bit about the unschooling journey and allowing our children to have that trust, to be able to rise with that courageous self-worth, to be able to have that. They need to feel that from us, and we need to have that in ourselves to give that. And a bit of the pagan parenting journey and um, feeling like that outsider is a huge thing for motherhood, and especially when we're doing things a bit outside the normal constructs of mainstream patterns and going against the grain of seasonal earth rhythms and things when we live in the southern hemisphere where things aren't always in alignment with the northern hemisphere celebrations. I talk about all of that in this magical mothering journey, bringing the magic to the everyday moments, rituals, to make sure that we are doing less martyrdom mothering and more magical mothering, more in tune with our bodies, our sensuality, our sex, connected relationships come from being connected within our inner magic. And that's what I want to share. That's what I want to share with you. That's what I want to talk about. So, let's see. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. So you can email me at dania@daniafoster.com. Just email me and ask me your questions, and I would love to answer them through our podcast, through our journeys. Let me know what you want to talk about. Let's join in. Other than that, you can find me on my website, daniafoster.com. You can book in to work with me one on one. You can find me on Instagram, Dania of Light and Earth. That's where I am there. So you can have a look at the show notes for all of those links. Support me on Patreon. I'd love that. I've just started that to be able to receive back some energy for the work that I'm putting out there is really something that I'm embracing. So I'd appreciate that. Let me know what you'd want to hear from me. I so look forward to enjoying this journey with you, and have a beautiful day.